Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you're doing good today. Well, today I'm going to finish up my potato tower. And I made a video, this was about the end of November, and I started it. And I talked about 3 things that usually make potato towers fail. Now, I'm going to leave a link to that video in the description, but I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing to not just have success, but hopefully grow some really just huge potatoes. And so you might see some things that you don't normally see in a potato tower video. Now, the first thing is what I selected for a potato. And so I wanted something with just a couple of eyes. And I didn't really want to cut them. I wanted to leave enough on here to feed them plants until they started getting roots. So, you know, each eye is going to be a plant. Well, I didn't want one with 3 or 4 eyes because I don't want all the nutrients being used up, and then I just get small potatoes because I have too many plants. So let me show you what I'm doing over here, and it's a little different. Okay, so it might look a little rough, it might be hard to see, but what I have is I have a layer of hay right here, and then below that I've got about 8 or 9 inches of pig manure, and it was aged, mixed with dirt out of my garden. And then from here up I've got dirt mixed with rabbit manure. Now one of the viewers in the original video suggested using cardboard, and it actually held the dirt in real good. It was a real good tip, so thank you for that. Now, the reason why, one of the reasons why I think potato towers fail is they don't get enough nutrients. They just don't add enough to it. If you watch some of them, they just got a real thin layer. And so I wanted to add a lot of nutrients, but I wanted them to be mixed in. I wanted it all to be broke down, because you want that dirt and that manure to get together and you know, break down where them nutrients are available to your plants. So I started this last fall. So that's one thing that I'm doing to try to fix a problem. Another one is, and if you're a beginning gardener, do not believe this. You cannot plant a potato in the bottom of a tower and let it grow all the way up and think that you're going to get potatoes all the way through this. That is not how a potato grows, and I explain a little bit more in depth in that other video, but that is a sure way to fail in a potato tower, is to do that. So I'm going to try to fix that by layers. Now, I'm going to show you how I water here in just a little bit, because that's another problem with them. But what I did was I decided in my garden I would leave 18 inches between potato pieces. You want to give them room. So I tried to do that here, and I'm going to show you exactly how I spaced these out and the problem that I had here in just a second. But what I did was I cut a hole in right here, and because usually you plant the potato as you're putting these layers on, I didn't do that. So I just dug a hole in here, and I'm going to put my potato in there. I've got one over here, and I've got one over here. So I'm only going to put 3 potatoes in this. Now, this is a 2-foot diameter cage, and that's going to become important here in just a second. But all I'm going to do, and I'm going to leave that eye out. Now, another viewer made a good catch. In the first year I did YouTube, I made a video and I planted 3 different kinds of potatoes in a potato tower, and he caught that you really want that eye sticking out so that way it can grow out and get into the sun, and evidently I didn't do that. So good catch, thank you for that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push that back in there, and then I'm just going to cover that up with dirt. And as it grows, if it comes out, I'm just going to put more dirt in it. that was the one problem with doing it this way, where I've already got dirt in there. I just really couldn't come up with a good way to do that. Now, if somebody has tried it and they've got something better, please let me know in the comments. Now, let me show you this spacing, and I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to space these out. So these are spaced out pretty much right above where I cut out for the bottom one. So this is going to give you a real good idea of how all my potatoes are going to be spaced. Now, we're going to measure this out, and between potatoes, I've got 14 inches, maybe just a little bit more. This way, I've got about 16, and then this way, I've got maybe 13, maybe 14. So you can see, with 2-foot diameter, I'm really not going to be able to get an 18-inch spread on these. So you would have to go with a bigger cage, either like a 3-foot diameter or maybe even a 4-foot. But guys, what it is you don't want to put them every 6 inches. I've seen this in a lot of videos, and it's just too many potatoes. You don't have enough nutrients in there, so if you do get any potatoes, they're just going to be real small. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. Okay, so before I get to the final thing, and that's watering, and then I'm going to cover the top ones up. If you're kind of interested in seeing how these turn out, you guys, please consider subscribing, because I'm going to show you one way or the other whether he turned out good or bad. So what I'm going to do, because you can't water from the top and think you're going to get water all the way down. And the important thing is, potatoes need a lot of water, especially when they start flowering. That's when they're going to start growing potatoes, so you really have to give them water. So my idea on this is, right here, my potatoes are going to be down here right below this hay. So if I put this in here and just push it in, I'm hoping that it's going to give them plenty of water. And so that's the hope. Now on the top, I'm just going to take hay and I'm going to put it down here, and I'm going to give it a pretty thick layer on there, and then I might even add some more, but then I'm just going to go ahead and water that real good. And guys, that's it. Hopefully we'll see. I would really love to get some of them big ones. Now, these are Yukon Golds. The reason I picked Yukon Golds was because in that very first video I made, Yukons were one of the varieties that I chose. And just so you know, they turned out horrible. They turned out really, really bad. The Kennebecks turned out bad. And so I thought this could be kind of a comparative video to see if this is any better than the way I did it before. Well, that's the video. I hope you guys enjoy it, and let me know what you think. All right, well, I'll talk to you later. See ya.